a lot of people look for games that they can get a ton of hours out of, like high replayability, kind of like quote unquote get your money's worth. Because if you're gonna drop money on a new Steam game and you only spend a couple hours on it and then move on to the next thing, then it like wasn't really worth your money in a sense. It's kind of like the train of thought. But for me, it's the exact opposite, and I want to kind of get into why and talk about how the way I think about hours in video games affects the way that we play them, affects the way that I view my Steam library, and see if any of it's relatable to you. So basically for me, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, I don't really care that much about replayability. I want to play a very wide range of games, and I want to feel like I got to a certain level of mastery over them. So I do like really enjoy um, some very difficult games, as long as I can actually like push through. As long as they're not like difficult to the point of just frustrating, and I'm 100 hours in and not making progress. But you know, I like Hades. I like getting over it. I like a difficult game about climbing, whatever. I'm not afraid of difficult games, but I am afraid of feeling like I'm wasting time, or feeling like, more importantly, I guess, I'm not being efficient at beating the game, because I want to play so many different types of games, and I want to just like feel like I beat it, quote unquote, and move on to the next thing, sorta. And some games I do replay and whatever, but in general, I can't tell you how many times I will look up, how many hours does it take to beat the campaign in X game? And I look it up, and it's like, oh, you should be able to do it on average in like 8 hours. And I look at my Steam progress indicator thingamajig, whatever it's called, and it's like, oh, I'm 12 hours into this game, and I'm literally only halfway through the campaign. And I get that super sick feeling to my stomach that's kind of irrational, but I can't be the only one that does this. So, why is that? Why does that make me feel bad? Well, a couple things. Number one, it makes me feel like I'm bad at the game. Like, all these people online are beating it in half the time that it's taking me. And so I try to rush through to, like, beat some imaginary time that I'm supposed to do it in so I can move on. Which is so dumb, because then you end up missing things, or not, like, fully understanding some of the mechanics, which can bite you later and make you actually slower anyway. But, yeah, I do that a lot, and it just makes me feel like I'm missing something, like I'm wasting time, like I'm not the person that the game was for, or something. I don't know. And I'm trying to work on it, because that kind of mentality, it it's not helpful at all to enjoying games. When I look at, like, I stopped playing Hades for a little while because I was like, I forget, 40 hours in or something, and hadn't cleared it. And I was just like, every time I go back in, it's gonna be like 45 minutes to an hour to get through, just to get to the final boss, watch him redo all of his health after I kill him, and then die, and then repeat that process, basically. And I'm like, I don't want to keep playing this just to figure out the last couple of moves that the last boss has, or whatever, and hope for good RNG this round. And, like, it's all in my head at the end of the day. And eventually, like, one of my friends came over who was really interested in Hades, but he didn't, like, own the game himself. And he, like, completely brought back the fun that I had in that game. And I beat it while he was over at my house, and it was a blast. And I was so glad that I beat it. But I literally, like, without him coming over and getting, like, a fresh perspective on the game, I probably never would have beaten it, or it would have taken me, like, a couple years to revisit or something. Simply because I was in my head about how much time I had spent on the game compared to where I should be at that point. And it's just not a healthy way to play video games. It's just not it takes all the fun out of it to feel like you have to be achieving some, like, arbitrary standard of efficiency you know? And I'm trying to get better about that, but it's really hard for me for some reason. And I don't entirely know why. But I feel like if I can just slow down and really enjoy games in the moment instead of just rushing through the progression, those moments when I do that, I have so much more fun. So if you think about it, having a high, like, hour count in a game doesn't necessarily mean that you're bad at the game. It might just mean that you're getting more out of it or that you're, like, really enjoying every moment. And yeah, like, if it's like a puzzle game or something, then maybe it's like you're a little bit slow to figure out stuff. So what? Who cares? Like, would you really rather just stop playing the game or look up a bunch of stuff and kind of like cheat your way through the end just so that you can feel good about yourself? Like, I don't know why I do this to myself. It's so dumb. So yeah, that's kind of like just something that's been on my mind recently as I'm looking through my Steam library and thinking about the games that I've enjoyed and games that I haven't, that I'm trying to get better about. Just like slow down and enjoy games for the sake of enjoying games, and don't worry about like being a good gamer who beats games quickly or whatever. It's just not a useful way to think about it. Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts, I guess. This is kind of a quick video, a little all over the place, just some thoughts that I had about it. And yeah, I'm sure that I'm not the only one, so let me know in the comments if you felt the same way before. That's pretty much it for now, so see ya.